Hello, we are on air, Mr. Daniel. We are on air, and our stream is going live all across the network of NPAFInc as well as through the network of Daniel Lean shows, daniellean.com, and through the multiple channels. So, welcome you, Miss Daniel. How is my guest, Daniel, today?
It's great here. It's a lot of snow. I'm in Salt Lake City, and we had about a foot and a half in the last couple of days, and we're expecting more. So I'm sure it's not compared to where you are, though. How are you, Dr. Pranav?
Oh, wonderful. I can't be any better when you have esteemed guests, who hosted multiple shows all across the globe with you on a Saturday morning to talk to the people. What could be a better combination of time and happiness?
Yes, and hello to everybody all over the world. I know that your reach is vast, and your backbone on NPF INC is, from what I can gather, the best in the world right now as far as what you do.
Yeah, thank you so much. We invited huge, fair amount of time and resources in order to produce the best stream and to reach to the masses globally. We are trying to bring 4K resolution with 48,000 NZ of voice frequency that can give access to the studio quality of voice. We want to bring a lot of pragmatism while bringing the live stream through multiple channels. So and it makes an ideal combination in terms of Daniel Lean shows, best quality of the voice, and the show's entire caucus is complete now.
You know, I've watched you grow through building this along the way with the partners in Canada. And every single time you seem to be improving it and improving it and improving it. And it's very rare to find a satellite network that's operating at this pristine level. And especially when you're delivering messages in the lifestyle community where you can really talk to the world, you want it to match up. You want your life to be like that too, at the highest level. And, that's what we do. So I'm happy to be in partnership with you.
Wonderful. Last time when we managed the shows, it really went well. And the majority of the viewership still comes from, doubtlessly, from your network because you have the track record and what can I say, repetition building for more than four decades. So listeners will not go away. People sometimes do ask me that how do you differ to than other podcasting. Dear friends, we are the combination of social media streaming, giving live streaming to the Daniel Lean network that gives the quality voice, and we are totally different. You won't find social media streaming giving live stream to certain overseas network too. So we are much larger than what we
Hmm.
visibly look like.
Yeah, the reach, when I kind of tracked it, the reach was all over the world and the clarity and the performance of the backbone, which is when you start putting your podcasts on all of these networks, you still you get a reach and you can still go global. They're streaming, but it's very different when you're on a satellite, and it's very different in performance. Not that I understand the technology as much, but I do know that the experience is very different in the recording.
Exactly. And when we use, Zoom or other digital small scale interfaces, they are good software, but they don't produce the quality of voice that is like a studio quality of voice. You see, that's where the difference comes from. So your jingles, your music, your real-time picture transitions, transmissions, all these things are different, totally different.
Yeah, and people are picking up satellite in their car now, so wherever you can listen all over the world in your car. Certainly from America and any place that you travel now, and it's going to continue to be driven by the satellite networks.
Exactly. So, Daniel, what's the plan for 2023? Any exciting plan unfolding for our future progress path?
Yes, absolutely. One of the things that happened in 2022 is we really looked around the world at the need that we were serving, which was that we spend time with the brightest minds in the world, the brightest people delivering the very best resources when it comes to improving the quality of your life. So we're expanding our network, we're expanding our platform, we're working on a new technology backbone, kind of hush hush secret for right now. But that's going to get us around the world. We've also picked up some new radio stations. One of our goals in America, and we're based out of Salt Lake City. And if you've never heard us before, my name is Danielle Lynn, and its last name is spelled Lin. But we feel like rather than just being a podcast, and we own one of the largest podcast libraries in the world, we had 40 years of it, pardon me, recorded. But we wanted to be a multiverse in the sense that we wanted to be on satellite. We wanted to be anywhere where you could get the information in any neighborhood in the small town of the world and the large cities. So that technology platform that we're working on will be a proprietary platform, and you'll be able to access a lot of different things through this location. So once it's ready to be revealed, I'll come back on and we'll introduce it. We're pretty excited about it. It's a big deal, and I'm certainly not a techie person in any way. So I have teamed up like with you.
You have a very good team. I met your production guy, and you have a team in place. So we are equally honored to be in partnership with you. That brings enrich experience, and we complement a small section with this satellite technology that can give a broader access globally, sitting in your drawing room, in your boardroom, and make your voice heard all over the world. So
Yeah.
it will help to create win-win situation for both the sides. Daniel,
Yes.
may I know in during last year I listened to your podcast, and you bring where do you get all these elite faculties from? How do you get so much connectivity? What's the secret of Miss Daniel to have such a profound network with the elite alumni of in a healthcare segment? Can you elaborate a bit more about that? Because
Yeah, I think
we find it very hard to establish connectivity with the people.
yeah. Well, we were the first in the marketplace to create lifestyle talk, and that was in 1983.
Oh,
So there was nobody. When Deepak Chopra was, when there was no radio show at the time where, Wayne Dyer, Deepak Chopra, Ram Dass, some of the greatest voices that launched consciousness on the planet. There wasn't a broadcast network to do that, and there wasn't streaming, and there wasn't the internet. So we built a relationship early on with people who were coming to the forefront, whether it was the natural products industry or growers, sustainable farmers. And I think when you're there, it's kind of, they call it the network effect, like what Uber did, what PayPal did, what Airbnb did. You can become a me too, and you can do the same thing. But when you're first in market, you tend to have a priority that's built because there's a trust, there's a backbone, there's a proven track record. And I think that's what we did. We proved that lifestyle could be on radio at the time, on AM stations, and we were on the weekends, and no one thought it was, who was going to care about consciousness. Who was going to, they told us not to talk about the water. No one had interest in water. And so we proved that this was valuable talk. And I think when people started to trust the brand, then the momentum came, because if somebody who is already famous comes on, and then you have another famous person and another famous person, it's much easier than when you try and go out there and network. But I also, for people who are starting in the podcast world, we built a lot of our business, especially in sponsorship, with trade events. So I went to the major trade events in the world of the specializations of the areas we wanted to be focused on, and we built relationships there. And I think the key to anything you're doing, same for you, you're building relationships that trust you. They trust you
exactly.
with their brand.
Yeah. It's always better to say a goodbye to the relationship that is not working and to have more efforts, endeavors in where there are synergism. That's why we are together for almost how many working together. We have had our first show in 2018, and this is 2023. It's a long run, and I never
Yeah.
encountered a problem while working with Daniel Lane.
The only problem is you teaching me how to get better on technology.
We
I
both
don't claim.
complement each other. I learn a lot from you, and it's an honor to have. Otherwise, we get a lot of requests, and we can't justify every request coming to the table. We can't provide them the airtime. Airtime is very expensive. They can do
Mm-hmm.
their own Zoom, Facebooking. We don't dispute what they try to do on their own, but to put a logo and to ignite this transmission channel that can give them the broader access is not for everyone. So no, we are very
So,
impressed the way sometimes when I have a free time, I do visit your entire digital library, and every novel and naked diamond you picked them from the healthcare industry. So that must be applauded.
well, thank you. So explain how far your reach is, because I know when we were looking at the analytics of how vast your connectivity is, explain that.
Yeah, we when the transmission starts, we put algorithm in place, and with the Africa TV, having a slot with the Africa TV, we get complete exposure to Africa sitting right here.
Mm,
When we have Twitch TV, we get market access to United States in northern part where Twitch is more popular. We use Periscope for streaming that is very popular in the European subcontinent. So we get market access to European subcontinent. Once we pull the image and the signals with a reasonable quality uh, of, of, of qualitative voice and the picture, we magnify it, we buffer it, and we rebroadcast it at a global scale instantaneously.
mm,
And the real reach can be established. Figures will be out after 48 hours when the transmission gets over. And probably we also have the reach in more than, as per analytics, I'm not saying so, but Google Analytics have made us reach to more than 119 countries all over the world.
wow,
So,
that's fantastic. I mean, to think that it used to be that a broadcast was just in your neighborhood, it was always called live and local. And now it is live and local, but it happens to be even in these tiny little villages, mobile phone, when you think back on Nikola Tesla and the scalar light that he was able to harness, and now we have electric cars, and now we have mobile phones everywhere. The opportunity to live an extraordinary life has never been as good as it is now, even though everyone looks around the world and says everything is a mess. The truth is that we're more conscious now than ever before in history, which gives us an opportunity to take a look at some of the horrible things that are happening on the planet and change them. And with your ability to reach people in a conversation on your satellite network, this is going to make all the difference in the world for people to hear, to people to share. In Africa, there are so many natural raw materials that are coming and being brought to America, refined by small farmers, that the knowledge of the Amazon, these places, they have the knowledge to keep us alive. They have the knowledge to turn disease into health and quality living. So, what you're doing at NPFI INC is connecting the world together so that we can ask each other the questions and get the answers from shamans and masters and professionals and scientists. So I can't thank you enough, because I don't think people realize the true benefit of what you're actually networking together.
yeah, we started this endeavor way back in 2016 when very limited exposure. When today I have a long list of applicants, those who want to make their voice heard globally.
Hmm.
As soon as we have ducks in row, more sponsorship, more resources, we would like to justify the expectations, but at present we are putting, still struggling for the resources that can appreciate this quality data and the huge expense
Hmm.
involved in transmission activities.
Yeah,
So
well,
it's
when
coming up.
people re-
Yeah.
so a sponsorship is what you're talking about. Like, people will come and sponsor and work, and I think when people realize what you actually offer and the process you go through with people to really design and figure out what it's going to take to broadcast with you. That's a big deal. It's not like you just lift a switch. You do a lot of work in the backbone, and that's rare. So, an opportunity to work at the level with you in the beginning where someone can build something, not overexpose them. The budgets aren't that high, what you ask. It's a definite place for anybody to reach their own networks. It's very important.
Yeah, that's right. But no, we always take whenever there is Saturday off time. I open up your all old podcast library, and you really made a concept out of it that lifestyle is possible through podcast. Probably when we used to hear back home in India, we never thought of having so much importance of complementary medicine in the West. Actually, this kind of shows and the talks inspired me to come over to the West, where still the opportunities for complementary medicine is very, very limited, but it
Mm.
is still there.
Yeah, it's coming, and India laid the foundation with Ayurveda for, centuries and beyond, and it really is the primitive in the sense we think, oh, it's so basic, but no, it's so scientific and it's so proven that, I spent time at the Ayurvedic hospital for 30 days, and we took a person with diabetes there, and they were running about a 320 blood sugar daily, and in less than a month, we got 30 pounds off of their body. We got their blood sugar down to about 113 on a regular basis. And India is that um, backbone of that medicine, if you call it. And it's not just that it's like natural medicine, it's proven over all of that time that uh, you can you can heal the body, not
Right.
suppress the symptoms. That's part of the problem with the when you go traditional medicine. It's great for if you break your leg or you need heart surgery, but when you're going to heal the body, you have to use nature. There's a part of it that has to do with
Wonderful.
nature.
Very well articulated. When it comes from an expert like you from the Western world, I feel like somebody is praising my mother sitting in California.
Mm,
That's so nice of you. When Ayurveda is talked in high esteem, nobody is more happier than me, Miss Daniel.
yeah, it's I'm very grateful. You have pushed me further than anybody has pushed me, and I folks, if you had any idea when we started working together, I really had to learn. I had to learn to work with satellite. When I was in radio, I just walked into the studio. I had no idea what I was doing. And it was there was this person there, but we weren't using technology and we didn't have to adjust anything because they took care of everything. But when you go to the satellite, you need somebody like Dr. Pranav. You need somebody like you to guide us along to say, okay, here's how you get your settings globally. Here's how these are the parts that you need. So, I
Dear
think.
friends, those who are joining us from different parts of the world, at present you will be able to see me live, see this conversation live all across the network of NPAFInc, as well as on the network of DanielLean.com. Her page, Daniel Lean Show, is live. Her YouTube is live. We are live on more than 14 terminals as we speak. So,
Wow.
yeah, the data and the transmission is not buffering. Sometimes when I receive the signals, that becomes a bit weaker because of some issues of the internet. But
Yeah.
broadcasting from this particular desk has no challenges, none whatsoever. So
Amazing.
it's going all the way through, and we will have a feedback in days to come, Daniel, and look forward to take this alliance to a different level.
Yeah, no, it'll be great. I've seen some of the people that have used your services for their major conference, and the quality and how pristine the clarity is very, very significant. So, congratulations. It's hard work. Keep the faith, keep it going, and a lot of people's lives will be changed by the doctors you're interviewing and the people that are coming on and the people that are committed to using satellite for the good, using technology to improve life.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Daniel. I will
All
remember
right.
your
Thanks, Dr. Pranav.
advice and the words, and we will plan further down the road in days to come.
All right. Bye.